And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
I really like dice, and I have a lot of different dice, but some of my favorite dice that I have are from Iron Die. These are dice that are made out of the zinc alloy. They look really cool. They originally made a game, which was an okay game, but the dice were great, and they've since made other dice. Some of my favorite dice that I have, like I said, are the dice that Iron Die makes. And now they've made a game here. Now, this is a limited edition game. My copy here says 36 out of 100. So I don't think there's many of these. So I don't know that everyone's going to be able to get a copy of this one. But it is interesting. They made a game here called Ironcrux, which uses iron crosses to make the game. And there's you see a crusader here holding up one of those iron crosses on the front of the box. What's the game like? Let's take a look. All right, here's 49 of the crosses placed in a grid, a square, and there's 4 color ones, red, yellow, green, and blue in the corners. That game actually comes with 50 of them. The 50th one can be used if you want to make a grid that's 5 by 10. They are made of zinc alloy. Obviously, they're very heavy, noisy, loud, clinky. I'd be very cautious about playing with them on a wooden table. The box that they come in has these round holes in it so that you can store them in it. The problem with putting them in there is it's hard to get them out, so you simply have to dump them out. Again, being careful what table you do that on and how you dump them out. But gameplay itself, you pick one person to go first, and on your turn, you'll take your cross and you move it 3 spots. 1, 2, 3, and you'll capture the cross that you stop on. So green might go 1, 2, 3, white 1, 2, 3, red 1, 2, 3. You can't cross over a cross you've already gone, so you can't do this 1, 2, 3 stuff. The next time that blue goes, let's say blue goes here, and then green goes 1, 2, 3, and then white goes 1, 2, 3, and you pick up the cross that you're on top of, and then blue goes 1, 2, 3, and green goes 1, 2, 3, and white goes 1, 2, 3, and red goes 1, 2, 3, and then blue goes 1, 2, 3. Green goes 1, 2, 3. White goes 1, 2, 3. Red goes 1, 2, 3. Blue goes, Blue goes 1, 2, 3. Green has nowhere to go because you can't land on top of someone's cross, and you cannot go over these empty spots, so green is out of the game. Of course, you can see that so is blue next turn. White goes 1, 2, 3. Red goes 1, 2, 3. White goes 1, 2, 3. Red goes 1, 2, 3. Now, when you've captured 6, like red has here, you get to take 4 of them and keep going. Now, the reason you want to capture pieces is because on your turn, if you've nowhere to go, you can sacrifice 3 of the pieces that you've captured and place 1 on the board so that maybe you can land on the spot when it's your turn. This will continue until every player has been eliminated but 1. That player is the winner of the game. So, this game is going to be one I think that collectors are going to hunt out because there only is 100 copies, and how many people can say they have a copy of a game with metal crosses in it? The gameplay itself is very simple. You're going to pick up and move your pieces around, and it plays, the rules say 2 to 4, but I'm telling you right now, it is a 2 or 4 game. 3-player doesn't work because the person who is in between the corners just is a little bit shut out. It's just not very symmetrical at that point. And an abstract strategy game should be somewhat symmetrical. I think perfectly symmetrical usually. The component quality is high, but the gameplay itself it's okay. Now, this isn't the first game actually to use this method. There was a game from Out of the Box a long time ago called Fish Eat Fish, which had a very similar mechanism, except you would fight other fish by playing cards, a combat system. It's a great little game. This one, there's no cards. You just move around till one person gets stuck to where they're at. And that's okay. That's one of the... someday I'll make a list of the 10 different ways you can play an abstract game. Some are by capturing pieces. Some are by controlling parts of the board. This one is one where when you can't move, you lose, which is a tenet. There are other abstract games like that. When you can't make a move, you're out. and this is one of those. The back of the box says 15 minutes. I'm going to say 5 minutes, unless you're going to sit there and agonize over your moves. It's really not that difficult a game, and it's really not that interesting of a game for me. I think the concept is a neat idea, and it's okay. I can do it to pass time because it's quick and easy. But it almost seems shameful that we use such great components for a game that's just not that fantastic. So, who am I recommending this for? Well, collectors who want this in there. And it is. It's something you can pull out and people will go, ooh and ah, and look at it in neatness. The gameplay itself, though, could it have been done with lesser components? Well, of course. You would have to use tiles and they would have moved around. I mean, these things stack nice and neatly. Maybe plastic, but I don't know. It's an interesting idea, a neat collector's thing, but I think for most of you, hunting this down won't be worth your time.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door.